Some of my first gaming experiences were on the 3DS, and I loved every time that I played on it. However, a lot of my games were hand-me-downs from my sister, so whenever I got bored of playing Hello Kitty Big City Dreams and Tinkerbell, I always turned to Streetpass Me Plaza. Hello everybody, my name is Tyme, and in today's video, I'm going to go into the history of Streetpass and break down many of its awesome features, as well as what I think about Streetpass getting the successor on the Nintendo Switch. Before I go into the history of Streetpass, I'm going to give a brief rundown of what it is for people who might not know. Streetpass Me Plaza is an application that comes pre-downloaded on all 3DSs. It uses Streetpass technology, where if two 3DSs are in close enough proximity, there will be an exchange of data, usually just a Mii. Streetpass Me Plaza has a bunch of games too. The games revolve around your chosen Mii, and the Miis you meet on Streetpass. I'll go into more detail about those games later in the video. Anyway, Streetpass is awesome, but how did it come to be? Well, it started with one man, Yutaka Saito. Yutaka had a special relationship with Nintendo. He, who created games such as Sim Tower, Seaman, and Odama, considered Satoru Iwata and Shigeru Miyamoto close friends, and would regularly meet them for tea. On one of these occasions, he told them a story. He said, "Every morning on the way to school, there was a girl on the train I rode. I was almost 15 years old and I was too shy to talk to her. So in that meeting, I raised my idea that if we had a kind of magic machine so I could talk to her, that would be wonderful." A few years later, he said, "My company was invited to Nintendo headquarters by developer relations after Nintendo DS was announced. And the guy who did the briefing said, 'There is one big feature remaining that we haven't talked about yet. This is something CEO Iwata wants to tell you personally, Mr. Saito-san, so I'm going to call him. Please stay here.' A few minutes later, Iwata-san came down to the meeting room, and with a big smile he said, 'Mr. Saito, we've finally put in the feature we talked about. It's called Streetpass.' So basically the reason we have Streetpass is because one dude was too afraid to talk to girls. Nice. Now, some of the best parts of Streetpass are the games. Streetpass comes preloaded with two games, Puzzle Swap and Find Me. Puzzle Swap is a game where you get puzzle pieces by meeting Miis on Streetpass, or by buying them with play coins, which you get for walking 100 steps. And there are a lot of puzzles. A lot of puzzles. The other preloaded game is called Find Me. And in this game, your Mii gets kidnapped, and you have to save your Mii by fighting enemies, using Miis that you meet on Streetpass, or by summoning heroes with play coins. Each Mii has a standard attack, as well as a magic attack, that changes based on the color shirt they are wearing, which is a pretty neat feature. Also, if you beat the game twice, then you get the game Find Me too, which is the same game, but it's harder. And if you beat that twice, then you should subscribe! Okay, I'm sorry. Then, there are the paid games, which kinda came in waves. In the first major update, 4 new games were added. In the second, 2 were added. And in the third update, 5 new games were added. So I'm gonna go through these games pretty quick. Mii Force. It's a side-scrolling shooter where you are the captain of a Mii Force, and you get Miis by buying them with play coins or by meeting Miis in the Streetpass. And if they all get hit, then you lose. Flower Town is basically Gardening Mama, but in order to grow plants, you have to meet with other Miis, and this game has the hardest plaza ticket ever. Warrior's Way, a battle sim where you conquer the world with rock, paper, scissors. Monster Manor, a puzzle RPG that is basically just the Link's Awakening Dungeon Maker. Ultimate Angler, just a fishing sim. Battleground Z, it's an action game where you fight off a bunch of zombies with weird weapons. Slot Car Rivals, it's just slot car racing. Market Crashers, the stock market. Feed Me, Cooking Mama. Mii Trek, a jungle exploring game. Ninja Launcher, a shooter where you are a ninja and you get launched out of a cannon. And that was all the games. One thing that I find interesting is that most of the games were developed by different companies, which is pretty neat because Nintendo doesn't usually do things like that. Also, plaza tickets, the thing I talked about earlier, yeah, so that's pretty fun too. You get plaza tickets from doing certain things, kinda like achievements, and there are a lot you can spend, 132 to be exact. You can spend them at the exchange booth for hats and costumes, which there are 99 of. And that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want, maybe you leave a like, subscribe, and if you're bored, maybe you could watch some of my other videos. Thanks.